know how to do, how to manage with life. They had money, they had families, they had huge wealth. They created an empire, you see, economic empire. Now these people didn't know what to do with their lives. So they thought, well, every now and then they would go for a world, what do you call this, shipping, modern world tour shipping. And nothing but luxury life liners. They got bored with all the luxury. They got now bored with all the wealth. They didn't know what to do because they said we can't stop thinking. And thinking what? How to grab more, how to make more money, how to do this, how to do that. So they say we can't stop thinking, can't sleep, can't this, all the time drinking and life, they got bored with life. At last they came to people like us, Eastern people who are teaching meditation. So I asked one of these old guys, well, my friend, why have you joined this course, meditation course? He says, look, I have got everything, but I don't know myself. And what I want, that I do. I don't know what to do with myself. I know that I am getting old, and I know that I am losing my reflexes, my ability to think. I forget a lot, and I quarrel a lot with my wife all the time. And I don't know how to manage myself. So that is why I have come. They say by meditation at least you know yourself, and when you know yourself, you can manage yourself. And when you can manage yourself, then you know the meaning of life and you can get the very best out of life. Now I said, you are a very wise man. You have uttered somehow the wisest of sayings. Know thyself means know your mind. And know your mind means the power behind mind, the potency behind mind. And the potency behind is willpower. Then I said, do you mind telling me a little bit of your story? He said, yep. I will. He said, you know, by the time I was 18, I was kicked out of home by my dad. He says, get out and get your own job and make your own money. So then I got this challenge, so I had to go and try to find. I had just graduated from high school. I had no skill, nothing, I don't know what to do. So anyhow, when I was kicked out, so I got a job in a factory, but I had no skill. So, but my managers and all that, they were kind enough. They said, okay, we'll put through a course of training and you will learn. So that is how I got into it, and I got trained from one skill to another skill to another skill, and at last I became a foreman. Then from a foreman I became a works manager. And then at last, then I became the general manager of the whole outfit. So then I understood, I have become all this. All because I wanted to become. My will to become. I said, I am not going to remain a labor. I must be a skilled technician. And that is how I started. So when I began, I discovered that this will can do everything. And as I grew in my job, I also became more interested in raising a family. So I met a woman who was working in the factory itself. And that is how we raised a family and the children and all that, and we made a lot of money. We invested properly and here and there, and by the time I was 50, I was bored with life. I didn't know what to do. With all my money, and my children had become big, they were also earning a lot of money. They had their own families. So I didn't know. So here I am now, you see, I want to know myself more. I have my temper, I have my greed, I still want to go and grab. Now, that doesn't solve the problem. I can't sleep sometimes. And I know by swallowing tranquilizers I can't solve my problem. In the night I can have a good sleep, no doubt, but in the morning I am miserable again. So, now he says, this is my story. I said, my friend, you have got the biggest solution of life in your hand. If you want to exercise your will, you can do everything. Know yourself first means what? Know your action. And know your action means know the will behind action. So how do I do that? I say, get up in the morning, sit down, focus your mind on your breath. As you breathe in, you'll see your tummy rises and falls. You see. So you just watch this movement of rise. Now as you do that, you'll see suddenly the mind has run away somewhere. Now don't go and fight with the mind. Don't go and try to somehow watch your breath. No. If you do that, you are fighting with yourself. Because the watching job is done not by body. This watching is done by your mind, your mindfulness. And this mindfulness is able to work because of the intention to be mindful. That is all. The will to be mindful. So now, when the mind runs away, you say, okay, where has it gone? Good. I have got into a big forest, you see, which is nothing but memory of the past. The forest of past memories. And I can't get out of that forest. Memory after memory after memory, I am lost into it. So I said, good. Once you know that you are in the past, all you have to do is tell the truth. Tell yourself past does not exist. Past is only a memory. And memory is nothing but a dream stuff. The stuff with which you create your dreams is not real. Once you know that the past is not real, and then you also experience the future, all the dreams that you have of the future, and you know that they are not real, they are not there. You only imagine them through your memory. And you are lost in the jungle of memory, that's all. Living in unreality, that is what it is. So try to live in reality, which means live in the present. That is meditation. That is how this gentleman started. After a month he became so successful. He says, I can sit for half an hour. I couldn't sit even for a few minutes before. And not only that, I know how to control my mind. Before I want to do something, I ask myself, why? Why do I want to do this? What is the intention behind? What is the will behind? Because will does not work alone. Our intention doesn't work alone. It has to be triggered by something else. So, I may have willpower, I may cultivate willpower, but if that willpower is not properly managed, that will go wild. That is what happened with these European powers. They went with their willpower, they conquered the whole world and then got into a mess of world war after world war and creating the atom bomb. That's what willpower brought. So now, mere willpower is not the solution. Knowing the willpower is not the solution. What motivates the willpower must also be known. So an action has these components behind. Number one, an action is volition, will to do, will to say, will to think or imagine and so on. And this will is nothing but like an engine, power, a powerhouse. Engine you may have, but if you don't have fuel, the engine is useless. So the engine has to be fueled, and that fueling is done by motivations. So an action is not merely an action. An action is either good or it is bad. Good act, not only that, if an action is good, it is good because it can produce good result. It is bad because it produces bad result. So the action, goodness has a capacity, a power, a potency. So along with willpower we must know that an action is either good or bad, and that action has got a certain potency. The capacity to bring about a certain result. If you are benevolent, if you practice friendliness openly and very sincerely, if your enemy can become your friend, no question about that. That is why metta power is far superior than hate power. So with the understanding of willpower, you must know that there are things which motivate. So a good action is motivated by, let us say, loving kindness, by non-violence, by generosity, by benevolence. Alobha, adosa, amoha. Alobha means not merely non-greed in the sense of absence of greed, no. It is something which makes an end of greed, which means giving, the opposite of grabbing. Greed shows itself in the form of grabbing, wanting, accumulating, collecting, covetousness. Now the opposite of that is sharing, giving, generosity, charity, benevolence. Now these are the motivating factors that make an action good. And the will that acts becomes good because of this motivation. Adosa means non-hatred, which means love, compassion, sympathy, the ability to empathize with people in their suffering or in their happiness is a great ability. So these are the positive motivations that make an action good, or wisdom, knowledge, insight into reality. These are the things that make an action good or bad. So merely knowing an action is willpower, that's not enough. You must know how the will gets triggered. The triggering mechanism of will force must be understood. That is alobha, adosa, moha, amoha for good, lobha, dosa, moha for bad. And then what kind of potency these actions have. Now that would be the subject of the discourse next time. I missed to, during this series. I have missed two talks because I have not been quite well. Now you can see I am perfectly okay. Hopefully I will be able to continue with this series. May the grace of Bhagavan Buddha surround your lives with wisdom and well-being. May you all be happy. Sukhino bhavantu.